Hi guys, and welcome to another episode on Piscator UK. Well, you join me back on the shore after a couple of days since my last session chasing sea trout, and hopefully I might redeem myself after such a big loss of a superb fish the last time. If you didn't see that, guys, I'll leave a link up above and in the description, and you can maybe check that out whenever you feel like it. So yeah, had a lovely fish on, lost it, played it for 5 minutes, and to be honest, you know, it put up such a good fight that it deserved to get away in the end after fighting so hard. But yeah, it would have been nice to get a real close-up of that fish. Anyway, I'm back again a couple of days later. Conditions are near perfect. It's a bit bright, quite a bit of sunshine, although it's just dipped behind a cloud just now, which is good. And there's a nice ripple on the water, a breeze blowing from my left to right. The tide is the first 2 hours after the ebb, so I've got 4 hours to low tide, and I may fish the first couple of hours of the flood if I've got time. What I'm going with today is I'm going with my trusted sand eel pattern. This is Full and Mill, made by Full and Mill, and that's on a size 6 sea hook. The fish that I lost was actually on a blue and white clouser minnow. I lost that at the end of the session, the last session, so I've got no more of the blue and white. I've got red and white and black and white, but no more of the blue. I'll maybe mix it up a bit later and put another clouser minnow on. I do like the action of the clouser minnow because it's so weighted in the front of the lure. It gives a lovely diving action. Anyway, I haven't cast out. My rig says standard, 29 pound Diver J braid 8 strand, and down to a short rubbing leader of 10 pound fluorocarbon, Timber Bombarda, which is 25 grams today, just give me a bit of distance, and my 9 foot fluorocarbon leader. It's a little bit lighter today, the fluorocarbon leader, 6.5 pound. I ran out of my 10 pound that I used the other day there. Anyway, this is the first cast, and I'll see how we get on. There's the first one. Give the line away. If you're new to the channel, guys, please check out my other playlists. I do a wide variety of different fishing, and there might be something else there that takes your fancy. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the little notification bell so that you're kept up to date with future episodes on the channel. And as always, guys, if you have any comments, feel free to leave a comment below about anything that I do or anything on the other videos that I've done. I'll always get back to you, and have a look at some of the comments as well, because some of the comments from viewers, you know, some of their information is quite invaluable in terms of rigs they use, patterns of lures they use, different tide times, etc, etc. So yeah, don't forget to have a read of some of the questions and comments. Anyway, let's get on with the fishing. Because the wind's blowing from my left to right, I'm going to do a steady walk down the shoreline, nice slow pace, couple of steps at a time, and just cover as much water as I can, fan casting as I go all the way, just to, you know, make sure I do cover as much water as I possibly can. If you haven't seen any of my other sea trout fishing videos using the Bombarda, the Bombarda, by the way, is an excellent tool to get ultralight lures out at distance. I'll give you a close-up of it if you haven't already seen it. So that's a Bombarda, sinking Bombarda, 25 grams. Now just because it's 25 grams doesn't mean it sinks like a 25 gram lead weight. It probably sinks about 1 foot per second, and obviously when it hits the water, do a little count in my head. The area I'm fishing today is not deep, it's probably 6-7 feet at its deepest at my furthest cast. So I'm only letting it sink for a few seconds and then starting the retrieve. So if you've got any questions on the Bombarda and you want to see the full setup, I'm not going to go into it all today. I'll leave a link in the description as well, and I've done a full video answering viewers' questions, what I look for when I'm looking for an area, and the full setups at the end of the video on how I set the Bombarda up, which is pretty generic for what I use it for. The setup doesn't change much at all. The only thing I change really in the setup is maybe the size of Bombarda, and I fish 15 grams up to 25 grams fishing from the shore. I'm just mixing up the retrieve, putting some action into the lure. It flashes lovely in the water. It's got a little bit of crystal flash. Short, sharp pulls. Pause and wind. Yeah, just mix it up. So this area that I'm fishing at the moment, there's patchy weed, some rocks, and there's like sand and mud in between that, and as the tide drops and I walk out, it just becomes sheer mussel bed, which is a real hot spot for sea trout, looking for ragworm and all that sort of thing. Although it's getting a bit late in the year for the ragworm hatching, I think we've just missed it. The ragworm usually hatch when the water's really cold, in the colder months, January through to February, maybe the end of March. I did see a couple on my last session, and that's a fish. Yeah, not bad, half a dozen casts. Doesn't feel overly big. It's coming in with relative ease compared to that last monster that I had. That felt like it was near the surface when that took. Try and turn this fish, bit of weed behind me. Yeah, it just proves a point, guys, that, you know, fishing, oh nice job, fishing in bright conditions, you know, doesn't always put them off. If it had been like a mirror, I wouldn't have bothered fishing. I just would have spooked them too much. The splash of the Bombarda, this keeps jumping like a maniac. It's going to come off as I've got a barbless hook. this one in. Oh, not ready yet. That's ready for the net. Ah, nice fish. At the pound mark. Yeah. Lure's right in the side of his mouth. That's easy, a pound. Pound and 3/4, pound and a quarter I should say. Hook came out nice and easily. Fish is fine in the net here. That's why I like a floating net. Oh, we'll get this fish away. It's rearing to go. Just wet my hands. Yeah, absolute stunner. Looks like something's had a little go of it. There she goes. Tide's dropping fast. And we'll start making our way down the shore. The mussel beds have just started and they're just under my feet now. So I'm fishing over mussel beds. A little bit of an update. Shortly after that first fish, I lost my entire rig. Got caught in the mussel beds. A bit of my fault actually. I haven't changed my rig since end of last year, and it was the knot that joined onto the swivel just below the Bombarda that parted. I should recover it at low tide. It will be exposed, so I might get it. The only difference is between then and now is that was my last 25 gram Bombarda. I'm now fishing with a 15 gram, so a little bit of reduction in casting distance, but there's a nice wave in the water now. The wind's really picked up. Well, it's just still be okay. I put the same lure on, blue and white sand eel pattern. Everything else is exactly the same. The last Bombarda was a Abu Garcia. This is a Fladden. Slightly more streamlined, so not that much reduction in terms of distance. Well, the wind's affecting it now. I'm trying a new leader line at the moment. New hook length, I should say. It's not fluorocarbon, it's mono. It's a NGT and it's a Camu, and it is really invisible in the water. But not quite as stiff as the fluoro. That seems okay, it's no tangles. And it's a third of the price of fluorocarbon. Well, just got another one, guys. Hook just fell out in the net. Give a good account of itself. Lovely Silverfish, about 3/4 of a pound. I'll let this guy back. See you, buddy. Excellent. 2 fish, 2 missed. I actually thought I switched the camera on. I actually thought I had it on the camera, and I must have switched it off after the take. Just tidy the lure up a bit so it's swims nice. Excellent. Plenty of fish about. That was all 3 in that same area. Just casting where I'm going to be walking. There's a few anglers out tonight, or this afternoon. Another one, or 2, maybe 3 actually, down to my right, down towards the point. It's a lovely afternoon. Just listen to the curlews singing in the background, one of my favourite bird calls. Let's try a cast into the shallows. Wasn't a very good cast. Didn't stop the Bombarda before it hit. And that's a fish. Same place again as the other 3. Swimming towards me. I love to see them jump, but it's usually a sign that they can come off. This is just thrashing on the bottom. It's in the net. What a session this has turned out to be. Fish number 3. Get this hook out. Nice and easy. Another fish, about a pound. Lovely. Thank you very much, Mr. Sea Trout. They must be stacked at that bit. I think there's a pipe running out there and they're just in front of it. Just tidy this fly up a bit. I usually carry a little comb. It must be in my other tackle bag, because they get jacked up a bit with the fish. That was the same again. Cast into that area. I thought I hit a snag, which it must have been an initial hit. That was nice. Lovely hit of the lure. Feels like the best one of the day so far. It's not giving up anyway. That's ready for the net. Yeah, slightly bigger than the rest. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, good. £1.5. Let that rest in the net. This is why I like to bring a little comb. Just jack that right up. We'll get a little look at this. Wet my hands. Stunning. A little bit colour to it. This maybe only been back in the sea for a week or so. Thank you, Monster Sea Trout. Fish just moved again behind me, probably about 20 feet away from me. Let's see if I can cover it. Not interested. Oh, and that was it. Oh jeez, oh, hit my lure twice. That was a nice fish. Try that again. That was really close.